Hello folks, today we're going to talk about the G100 Mark II, basically the new vlogging camera that is set for Lumix to bring out to compete against the OM5 and compete against all the vlogging cameras from Sony and from Canon. So first thing first is going to be apparently a Micro Four Thirds sensor like the G100. The G100 is basically the lineup for vlogging cameras from the LUMIX, from the Micro Four Thirds size. So that's what it says. So it's gonna be the new vlogging camera from LUMIX. And it's gonna be quite a good one compared to the older version that they put out there. So I'm quite excited about it because the old version came out basically in 2020 when they released the Sony ZV-1. So Sony has a huge amount of creators behind them putting out there the news. While Lumix has really limited creators out there at that time at least. So let's say that the news of this camera didn't really get out there as much as the ZV-1, and the specs of the G100 was really underwhelming compared to all the others out there, like contract detect based autofocus, which in this new one is going to be the newest AF. Then it had to do with some stabilization issue where it will crop so much into the sensor that it will be basically unusable for vlogging. Then there was some jello-y effects going on, even though you were using an electronic stabilization. So there were a lot of issues there that wasn't good. But in this one, we're gonna have a lot of cool things. First thing first is gonna have the G92 sensor, which is amazing because we know what this sensor is able to do since we have seen it in the G9 Mark II. Which means from the G9 Mark II, we're gonna have the same AF. So we're gonna have the new PDAF system brought down to this vlogging camera. So we're gonna have an amazing autofocusing camera coming on. And it's not gonna have like the G9 Mark II 4K up to 120, but it's gonna have 4K up to 60p or 50p, and all of this is gonna be 422 10-bit. Most probably no crops going on there, for the obvious reason that it's a Micro Four Thirds, and they know that they can push Micro Four Thirds sensor way more than the normal full frame sensors that they have. So for the moment, those are the things that it's set for this camera to have. What are the things I hope we will actually receive in this camera? First thing first, let's talk about IBIS. I hope there will be IBIS inside the camera because they already have quite a small body camera, which is the GX8, and they put IBIS in there. So they are able to do it. They have the technology to do something like that in a smaller body. So I hope they will bring that into this vlogging camera and we can have a good image stabilization and not electronic based with crops and stuff like that. So Lumix, we know you are able to do an amazing things with your stabilizations. So please put a mechanical one maybe inside or something that will have the sensor, but not an electronic one. Please, Lumix, please. Then we hope, or I hope, to have the battery coming from the S5 Mark II X and the S5 Mark II lineup, because that will be amazing life for this vlogging camera because it it drains most probably way less than a camera like the S5 Mark II and the G9 Mark II too, because they use the same battery. So I hope we will have that. Of course, I hope there will not be any 4K crop coming from image stabilization or recording in 4K, because in the old one there was a crop when you're recording 4K, and all the other reason why there should be a crop. I hope there will not be any type of crop. Of course, it's a Micro Four Thirds, so I know we will have to still do the ×2 compared to a normal full frame sensor, but except from that, I hope there will not be any other crop. No record time limits, because in the G100 Mark I, there was this weird 10 minutes record limit. Whatever, I hope we will not have any type of issue like that. And Vlog. Vlog has to be in there. No Vlog L, no any other type of flat profile Vlog. Full Vlog. We know this sensor is capable of that. Let's have that. That's it. Point. There is no other thing. There are only 3 things I hope they will keep from the old G100, which is the Ozo mic system that they had inside. So it basically is a all-around microphone that they had. Of course, they have different points all over the camera. So it can kind of track you when you moved, or it can kind of figure out where you were, so it could kind of focus on you, or you can kind of direct from back of the camera to the front of the camera, like whatever you wanted to do with those internal mic, you could do that. And it was crystal clear.
It switches to its tracking audio, where it's just going to listen to what's in front of the camera. So if Chris were to, be grumbling and complaining as he does,
about all the mosquitoes that are biting me right now, the fact that I'm carrying all the gear,
then you can hear it really does a nice job of kind of eliminating that audio from it, focusing on what's important and in front of the lens, important subject right here.
Now you just saw an old DP review video. Credit to them. I hope nobody will get angry because I took this video, but as you heard, it's quite a good mic. So I hope that they will keep, or they will actually even implement it and make it even better. And I guess it was made from Nokia, which Nokia now doesn't exist, and I actually live where Nokia was created, which is Finland. And I actually went to visit Nokia too, so it's quite cool. Nokia still exists, but I think it's under Microsoft or something like that, whatever. I just hope they will do something like the Ozo, so if you forget your camera, you're still gonna have an amazing internal microphone, which LUMIX is really good at. They're really good at making this internal mics really good. I actually quite use it often in some live events or stuff like that. So quite good. The second thing is the screen on the back. The screen on the back, it's probably the best screen that a vlogging camera has probably in this world in this moment, because Sony don't invest in it, Canon kind of invest in it, but Lumix, their screens are crystal clear, because the screen the G100 had was 1.8 million dots, and the EVF is the third one that I hope they keep, has 3.68 million dots, which I believe is the same screen and EVF that we have in this LUMIX camera, in the S5 Mark IIX. Might be, I'm not 100% sure, but I hope they will keep those. And these at the moment are the only things I know about this camera. I'm quite excited. If it comes out and it exactly like this or even better, I'm gonna sell my M6 Mark II and I'm gonna buy that. So what do you think? Share a comment down below. Consider subscribing for news like this and for content about LUMIX. I do a lot of them, and about content in general. Soon I'm gonna share quite amazing news, so stay tuned for it. Hope you're taking good care of yourself. I'm gonna see you in the next one.